All right, guys, check this video out. For anybody that doesn't have a visual and is audio only, I got to walk you through this. I got to walk you through this video. So this appears that it took place in Russia. Two guys are on their feet. They're fighting. One guy, for reasons unknown, gives the middle finger to his opponent. I mean, they're in the middle of the match. It's already began. They're not even touching each other. They're on the outside. They're feeling each other out, and he holds up his middle finger. At which point he follows that up with a rear leg kick to the head, knocks his opponent out. Now, I don't come to you with the sportsmanship that is clearly not on point there. I come to you with a very real distraction. The reason the leg kick worked and the reason the guy did it in the first place, the middle finger, was to give a distraction. I got to tell you, three great distractions. Three great distractions that I recall. First came, I was in a practice room. And Dwayne Ludwig was in town. He was still an active fighter. And he came out to Team Quest. And they had him coaching practice. They're like, hey, Dwayne, you're in town. And would you mind running? I know you came out here to train, but would you mind running practice, at least the technique part of it? And then we'll get in. So we had Dwayne for a week. And he was just great. We're working on combinations and things that we'd never seen. And for the stand-up realm, you would think that's where Dwayne was used. The number one thing I left there, when he left, the number one thing I left with him was actually a ground and pound. So here was Dwayne's move. You're ground and pounding a guy, okay? Which is largely you're distracting him. The ground and pound largely is just what it looks like on TV. It's just kind of rough. You make a fist and then you kind of pick where you put it between the body and the head. It's not rocket science. There's some hand fighting and some stuff going on, but it's not an overly played out position. So Dwayne had one of these where you're distracting the guy. You're giving him the business, and then you sit up, you posture up, and you point right into his face. And you sink one right into the breadbasket, right where, think of the Heimlich. Think of the Heimlich maneuver, right where it makes all of your air go, boom, that's where you throw the punch. So you point into his face to get him to go, uh-oh. As you pull your hand back, so, oh man, he's coming right for the face, and he brings his hands up and you drop one down. I mean, that'll work every time. Now, with that said, because you've never seen it, it's kind of like a guy giving you the middle finger. You're going to turn into the Medusa. That guy becomes the Medusa and turns you to stone, if only for a second. It works. Another great one is Frank Shamrock was fighting Phil Baroni. And they're on their feet, and they're in a level dust-up. And Frank finally decides he's felt Phil out, and he's got the hang of this, because out of nowhere, they're on their feet, they're fighting, they're on live TV, and Frank Shamrock does the sleepy sign. He takes both hands and puts them on one side of his head like a child would do at bedtime. He does this to Phil, and then he steps in with a 1-2 and puts him down. But it was another one of these setups where we're all at home watching. Imagine you're Phil and you're in the ring. As simple as that sounds, but you've never seen it before. Now, here's one that you guys wouldn't know about. This was a local show here in Portland. Scott Trahorn, who was a local hero and beat everybody up, but was also a school teacher, and it was just kind of something he did for fun. But Scott Trahorn, he's in his corner, other guys in his corner, referee. Right? You ready, fight. So Trahorn he's in the corner, just exactly what you'd think. He's in his corner, looks like a normal for every other fight you've seen. As soon as the ref says go, he looks as though there's something in the audience. He turns to the audience like somebody threw him something. He then bends down on the mat. I'm ringside. I'm falling for it. I thought somebody threw something to him. He looks like he fumbled. He reaches down as though he's picked up a brick. He runs at his opponent and throws the mythical brick. The opponent covers up. Trahorn comes up the middle with an uppercut with the opposite hand. Never seen anything like it. Of all the cool moves, and I'm sure you can relate. You see something cool, you see somebody else do it, then you go out and do it, right? Somebody's wearing a cool shirt and you think he looks nice. You go get yourself the same shirt. All the cool moves I've ever seen, and I have copied, I never had the balls to copy that one, and I always wanted to. If I was to ever go through the list of regrets that I've had in my career, it was that I never stole Trahorn's fake brick move. And to give it a frame of reference, but you guys might remember when Tony recent memory, but when Tony was fighting with Gaethje and Tony's corner yells, "Throw sand." And then Tony reaches down and throws sand that doesn't exist and tries to throw a punch. I understood that, I felt, in ways that maybe other people didn't, because I saw Trayhorn throw a brick that didn't exist. And even as a member of the audience, I fell for it. Like, there's no part where I could ever blame his opponent for covering up from a brick that was being hit in the head with that didn't exist. I mean, we all went for it. The whole building went for it. But you're just gonna. It's kind of like when Dwayne says, sit up, point the guy in the face as you hold your hand up and then put it in a different spot. Like, there's things that are just gonna work because they're the first time that they've been done. And I only bring this to you because it's kind of going around the internet, right? The middle finger, but into a head kick. Just to elaborate on that thought, it's a distraction.